Have you ever walked away from a conversation and felt strangely drained, like a piece of you had been taken, but you couldn't explain what? The person smiled. They spoke kindly. They even made you feel important. And yet, you left feeling smaller. That's manipulation. It never comes crashing through the door. It doesn't announce itself as danger. It slips in quietly, through charm, through guilt, through silence, through fear. And by the time you realize what's happening, it's already inside your mind. People imagine manipulation as something theatrical, a hypnotist waving a pocket watch, a con artist spinning elaborate lies, a politician with fire in his voice. But the truth is quieter. It's in families. It's in friendships. It's in offices, churches, schools, marriages. It's the parent who says, "I only want what's best for you," as they crush your freedom. It's the partner who whispers, "You're imagining things," as they rewrite your reality. It's the boss who praises your loyalty while stealing your time, your health, your life. Manipulation doesn't need fists. It doesn't need chains. Its power comes from shaping your perception. It makes you distrust your instincts. It makes you question your own mind. And once you stop trusting yourself, you'll trust anyone who claims to have the answers. That's how manipulators win. Not through strength, but through invisibility. Gaslighting is the sharpest weapon. It begins with small denials. "That's not what I said." "You're remembering it wrong." "You always exaggerate." At first, you push back. You're sure of what you saw, what you heard. But over time, doubt creeps in like fog. Your confidence blurs. Your instincts weaken. You start apologizing for things you didn't do. You start asking them for clarity about events you lived yourself. And the cruel genius of gaslighting, it turns your own mind against you. You become your own jailer. You question yourself before they ever need to. Then there's guilt. Guilt is a chain stronger than steel, because no one wants to feel like the bad person. No one wants to feel selfish, unloving, ungrateful. So the manipulator weaves guilt into every interaction. "If you cared about me, you'd do this. After everything I've done for you, how could you say no?" It's not a request. It's an accusation dressed as a plea. And because you can't stand the weight of guilt, you bend. You sacrifice. You give. And each time you do, the chain grows tighter. But manipulation doesn't always look heavy. Sometimes it wears the mask of sweetness. Flattery is one of the oldest tricks. "You're the only one I can trust. No one understands me like you do. You're special, different, better than the rest." And in the warmth of those words, you lower your guard. You stop asking questions. And that's when the hook sinks in. Flattery creates obligation. It makes you feel like you owe them something. And when the request comes hidden inside the compliment, you don't even notice. Fear, however, is the deepest level of control. Fear bypasses reason. Fear doesn't need evidence. It grabs the primal part of you that just wants to survive. Parents threaten abandonment. "Without me, you'll have nothing." Leaders warn of chaos. "Without my guidance, the world will collapse." Partners whisper, "No one else will ever love you." The message is always the same: "Without me, you're doomed." And so people stay not because they want to, but because they're terrified of leaving. Confusion is another tool. Think about the times someone argued with you, twisting words, changing subjects, shifting blame so fast you couldn't keep up. By the end, you weren't even sure what the fight was about. You just wanted it to stop. And that's the point. Confusion exhausts you. It weakens your defenses. It makes you surrender not because you believe them, but because you no longer believe yourself. And then, the masks. Manipulators are actors in their own theater. They wear masks that shift faster than you can catch them. One moment they're the victim, the next they're the hero, then the savior, then the wounded child. Every time you get close to the truth, the mask changes, and in that endless shifting, you lose sight of reality. Because how do you fight someone who is never the same person twice? But not all manipulators are loud. Some are silent. They don't argue. They don't accuse. They just withdraw. They withhold affection. They retreat into silence until you panic, wondering what you did wrong. And so you beg. You apologize. You try harder. Without a single word, they've regained control. The silent treatment is one of the most brutal weapons, because the absence of love can feel worse than hate. And this is why manipulation is so dangerous. It doesn't feel like manipulation while it's happening. It feels like love. It feels like loyalty. It feels like compromise. That's why people stay. That's why they sacrifice years of their lives without realizing it. Because manipulation doesn't steal your freedom in one blow, it erodes it, piece by piece, until there's nothing left. So how do you resist? By seeing what was designed to be unseen, by naming what was designed to stay hidden. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. The moment you say, "This is gaslighting, this is guilt tripping, this is fear," the spell begins to break. Because manipulation thrives only in the shadows. The first weapon against manipulation is time. Slow down. Manipulators love urgency. Decide now. Don't think too long. If you hesitate, you'll lose everything. But if something can't survive a pause, it's not worth your trust. The second weapon is boundaries. Manipulators hate boundaries. They'll call you selfish. They'll call you cold. They'll say, "You've changed." But boundaries are not cruelty. Boundaries are clarity. And clarity destroys manipulation. The third weapon is reclaiming your story. Manipulators want to write the script of your life. They want to decide who you are, what you think, how you feel. But you are not their character. You are the author. Take the pen back. Surround yourself with people who build you, not break you. Reclaim your voice. Reclaim your worth. And finally, the most important step, action. Awareness without action is a half-built bridge. You must cross. Say no. Refuse to play the game. Walk away if you must. And yes, it will feel terrifying, because manipulators build fear into the very walls of your life. But once you step outside, you'll see the truth. The cage was never safety. The cage was the trap. So now ask yourself, who makes you doubt yourself more than you should? Who drains your energy instead of fueling it? Who keeps you small while smiling to your face? And what will you do now that you can see it? Because once you see the strings, you can never unsee them. And once you cut them, you'll never walk the same way again. You'll move lighter. You'll move freer. And the world itself will look different, not because it changed, but because your eyes finally opened.